Hey y'all, so this is my insecure review for episode 4, Faulty, okay? And I realized today is Thursday and Insecure came on Sunday. And if I'm lucky, you'll be seeing this Friday morning. But yeah, let's get into this episode because last week, it was Lawrence and Concubine, but now this is like, we're back to our regularly scheduled Issa's life. And it looks like we're back to the current timeline of 1 year later, and this is definitely after Issa cried in Nathan's mouth. So the episode opens on the beach. I mean, of course they got the good music in the background too. And the first character we see is Nathan, and looks like it's a party coordinated by him. We're now introduced to Kendrick's friends, who's basically like a mirror of Issa's gang. One of them is very fine. Another one of them is kind of fine, and then we have the comic relief. And I'm gonna address this right now, and this is no offense to, Issa or Prentice, but why the big person always gotta be the comic relief? That's what I wanna know. Anywho, the guy is funny. We're also introduced to this girl who, I'm not sure if she's been on the show before, but her body, it's banging. It looks like she knows Nathan and his friends. So the title card comes up, and then we see Issa, Kelly, and Molly on the beach on their way to Nathan's party. Don't know where Tiffany is, and Amanda's not on here? Oh well. Molly looked like she is on a mission. And being a single person, I feel you, girl. Where the hood niggas at? So the ladies find Nathan, and before Issa goes over there, she reminds him how she cried in his mouth the other day. But then Kelly reminds her that, didn't this guy walk out on you in the middle of the night? Which was ain't shit of Nathan, by the way. We find out that it's been a week, and Issa and Nathan have not talked about it. So it looks like Issa still has feelings for Nathan, for some strange reason. So she's checking her phone and she sees that Crenshaw, who she worked with in episode 2, is bashing her on Twitter. It turns out that she got a deal with the company that sponsored his event, and now he's saying that she sold out and putting her on blast. So Issa says hello to Nathan, and it's Issa, so of course the exchange is awkward at first. I'm not sure what it is about Nathan, but is his character supposed to be hard to read, or is his character just underdeveloped? I just feel like something about his character is just shiesty, and I hate him for Issa. Woo! And Nathan's fine friend introduces himself to Kelly and Molly, and they seem intrigued, as am I. More awkward conversation between Nathan and Issa, and of course Nathan does what he do best, leave. Side note, Issa's outfit and hair is very cute. She gets back to her girls and she says, Nathan is definitely mad at me. Issa's wondering should she have came or not, and then Kelly is telling her, chill out, and hands her a drink. And Kelly is still not drinking and is still on her enlightenment path. Meanwhile, Molly's deciding out of 2 of Nathan's friends who's in the running to get that Tsunami. Issa don't know how to play spades. Every black person should know how to play spades. I'm sorry, that is a black card citation, not knowing how to play spades. She did say pity pat though. Now that is a hood game. I played pity pat since I was since I was in high school. I would play pity pat for money, for a quarter, on the bleachers during PE. So the beach party is popping, the spades game is going. We see Issa's in her head right now as she sees Nathan, and then the black beach bunny in the beginning we were introduced to, he's helping her tie her shoe, but it looks a little bit more intimate from her perspective. She like, they fucking? They not fucking. They fucking. At first I thought that was Kyla Pratt, but it's not. She looks a lot like her, and I cannot stop staring at her titties. So the black beach bunny actually knows Issa. Her name is Risha. So as Risha runs into the water like an airhead, that leaves Issa and Nathan alone again. More awkwardness, and then Issa finally just tells him that she wanted to check in with him to see if they're still cool. And again, Nathan is giving us nothing with his response. He's like, everything cool to me. Like, geez, like Kendrick the actor, like he's doing his best straight man impression and it's killing me. Issa again asks him, so we good? Yup. And that's it. So as Nathan's arguing with this guy who was supposed to bring meat for him to cook and brought Domino's pizza instead, there's an earthquake that happens. Is that frequent in LA? And that's one of the reasons I don't want to move to LA, because I hear earthquakes are kind of frightening. Never felt one before. After that little earthquake, we see Nathan grab Issa's arm and he's just checking to see if she's okay. Risha comes in between them like, we're bonded for life now. But yeah, now the lifeguard says that the party is over, everyone has to evacuate the beach because there's a tsunami warning. So then Nathan yells to everybody that they're going to move the party to one of the bars nearby, and drinks is on them. Issa, she's kind of ready to go, but Molly isn't, because these two guys are still in the running for her. So next scene, we're with Nathan and his friends driving to the next bar. So the taller, fine guy in the back seat is asking Nathan, does he think Molly's into him? Then he mentions, wouldn't it be funny if I start dating your girl's girl? Nathan quickly says that Issa is not his girl. Wow, niggas ain't shit. Nathan says she is all over the place? What does that mean? So then he's telling his boys his real feelings about Issa, saying that she called him over last week just to cuddle. So Nathan seems annoyed that Issa friend-zoned him when she got with Lawrence, and then he had his hopes up when she asked him to stay over, only to cry. So he was so frustrated that he left. I still think it was kind of rude of him to do, but I'm not a straight guy, so I'm not sure. But I will say in this scene, this is the most authentic his character has come off, and I still don't like him. They keep asking Nathan, does somebody die? Here we go again with the death theme. Like, I think we hear the word die in every episode. So his friends are telling him that you basically let her friend zone you. And Nathan says that she doesn't know what she wants. But his friends are trying to tell him Issa is clearly interested in you. So next scene, we're in the car with Issa and her girls and the Uber driver. So as Kelly and the new girl Risha is bonding in the back seat, we see Issa still scrolling Twitter, only to see that Crenshaw is still trolling her. Then we see her on the phone with one of the funny side characters this season, her assistant. Don't know the assistant's name? Remind me in the comments. Ooh, Issa's on salary now. Go ahead. Talk about growth. So next we see Molly and Issa strategically texting each other in the car, having a whole conversation, and we've all been there. Like when we're in a setting and we're just texting our friends back and forth about some mess. So Molly's texting Issa about Nathan, saying, how did the talk go? Issa texts back, well, he's standoffish right now, and she thinks he's fucking Risha. Oh, and Molly is a true friend. She's like, hold on, girl. It was business for Molly. Like, she's like, hey, girl, you fucking Nathan? She got the tea right then and there for her homegirl. I love that. I love their friendship. But yes, Risha said that she sees Nathan as a brother. It's blood, it's nothing. And then Molly texts back, well, he ain't with Risha. It looked like that information calmed Issa's nerves down, but then she still says, well, I guess you're not fucking with me. And then Molly texts back, what you gonna do about it then? I really don't want them together. I don't even know. I don't like Lawrence either. And it's already too late in the season to introduce Issa to somebody else. We only got like, what, 6 episodes left? Y'all know how slow they move the plot along. So next scene, everybody made it to the spot. Issa's friends and Nathan's friends are all sitting together. We see Nathan's 2 friends still competing for Molly's affection. And Molly is just in heaven right now. She is enjoying this. Who remembers that Mike Jones song? Back then they didn't want me, now I'm high hoes all on me. If you were an older millennial, you will know that song. So it looks like Issa and Nathan's pep talks from both of their friends had them cozying up to each other. And it's less awkward. So Issa apologizes to Nathan for crying and making it weird for him, but still asks him why did he leave her in the middle of the night? Because it was foul. And I don't care how he gleamed his pretty eyes at her. You ain't right, nigga. So then he tries to make a joke out of it, and then instead of answering the question, he asks her another question saying, what did you want me to do, Issa? She says, I guess I just expected you to be there when I woke up. And then he says he didn't know that they had expectations for each other. Toxic. Red flag, alert, alert, alert. Nathan thinks that his pretty face will make you forget that he's a fuck N-word. I wish he acted as real around her as he did around his friends. But I guess it's some type of bro code or something, I don't know. But it seems like they settled on some type of arbitrary agreement that they're okay. Anywho, the conversation is saved from being more awkward when Nathan's cousin comes in with his wife. Nathan and or Kendrick does not look like Prison Bae. All light-skinned ninjas don't look alike. I remember someone said I look like Tiger Woods. I don't think so. So immediately you can see that something is off between Nathan and his cousin's wife. So Issa then asks his cousin how long they're in town for, and she finds out that they actually live in Los Angeles. And she mentions to Nathan how come she didn't know he had family here. Insecure is good for that underlying subtext. So they're all talking and conversing, and then again we see that Nathan's cousin's wife throws some shade Nathan's way. And it seems that other people besides Issa know Nathan for his ghosting too. So Issa tries to big up Nathan a little bit, saying how much he helped her, like put down roots, but it comes off awkward. Of course. So then one of Nathan's friends mentioned that Jason Derulo is having a party. Nathan asked her, "Are you a fan of Jason Derulo?" She's like, "I'm a fan of parties." Me and Issa see each other. Jason Derulo is top 5 people I cannot stand. He's the Wayne Brady of R&B, but more annoying, and he's corny as fuck. So it looks like everyone's headed to the party, and Molly wants to know if this friend number 2, the bald one, is gonna come. And he says he has to let his cat out. Molly's like, "Oh, okay. Girl, you worry about the wrong cat." And that he is. Molly is trying to get those boots knocked, so she goes with the taller, finer gentleman, and it looks like he's the winner. Issa then asks Kelly, is she gonna come? And then we see her breaking down, talking to Risha, because she's on her journey again. I guess we're gonna have to wait till another episode to find out what's going on with her. We only got 6 episodes, y'all, so hopefully we find out before the season finale. Or series finale. So then Nathan asks his cousin and his wife, do they want to go? The wife says no, but she encourages her husband to go. I aspire to have that level of icy friendly shade that his wife have. Like, she is letting Nathan have it, but with a smile. So next scene, we're in the Uber with the remaining people going to Jason Derulo's party. It's Issa, Molly, Nathan, Nathan's fine friend, and Nathan's cousin. So Nathan and his cousin are reconnecting. You see Molly and Nathan's friend getting hot and heavy in the back seat. And Issa's on her phone, and again she sees Crenshaw dissing her. So now she decides to tweet him back, and she says, "You're doing the most. This is a weird way of saying thank you for all the exposure I got you." We then cut to Molly and Nathan's friend. She asks him, what does that tattoo mean? He says it's Chinese for good dick. Red flag, red flag. Wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo. I don't trust him. Issa just got a text from her assistant saying, "What did you do?" And then she sees Twitter and Crenshaw retweeted her comment. And now everybody's coming at her. So they arrive at Jason Derulo's party, and of course there's a long line out, and there's bouncers at the door with a guest list. So while the others are worried they won't be able to get in, Issa is dealing with her own matters, saying that she's worried about the deal she just signed with the company, and her assistant assures that she'll handle the situation. Side note, it gets dark super early now, so I had to turn on my ring light. Sorry about the lighting. So then Molly tells Issa she's feeling Nathan's friend, and she's wondering, should I fuck him? And Issa's like, yeah, do what you want. Molly, go for it, girl. You deserve it. Get the dick. So then Nathan's friend comes back to everybody and says the party's at capacity and he can only get in one person. And it's Molly. Molly decides to go with them, but assures everyone else she'll try to get them through the back. So Issa lets the group know that Molly found a way for them all to get in. They're all heading there, but then we see that Nathan's cousin decides to go home. Nathan tries to get him to stay, but his cousin says he already ordered a lift. Nathan reassures him that he wasn't going to abandon him if that's what he was worried about. He also adds in that he knows his wife has him on a short leash. His cousin tells him that it's not like that, and his wife wanted him to hang out with him. And Nathan's like, you don't have to cover for her. I know she don't fuck with me. Then his cousin is like, my wife loves you. And then Nathan's like, is that why she kicked me out? And here goes the tea. Apparently, when Nathan was staying with his cousin and his wife made the decision to kick Nathan out and he had nowhere to go. So then his cousin actually tells him that that wasn't on Velma. That was actually him that made the decision, and Velma took the fall so it wouldn't strain their relationship. And he tries to leave, but Nathan's like, nah, nigga, you gonna tell me this, but what happened? So his cousin tells him the truth for the first time and says that he came to their house randomly, and then he would be gone days on end, come back in the middle of the night, and he didn't appreciate that. He didn't feel comfortable with him staying there, especially because they had kids. I'm guessing this is the time when Nathan was struggling with his bipolar diagnosis, and then he tells his cousin that that's not him anymore. But I'm thinking his cousin isn't aware that he's bipolar. Nathan seems stunned by this news, but then his cousin says he has to go but he wants them to keep in touch with each other. Why Insecure trying to make us feel sorry for these guys? Like, last episode with Lawrence, I didn't really care for Lawrence, but I felt bad for him. And now they trying to make us feel bad for Nathan. And I don't like Nathan. So Issa comes back up to Nathan, wondering why his cousin left. And then Nathan says he needs a minute. He's clearly upset. We see Nathan went off somewhere, but Issa followed right behind him. It's the irony for me how he said that Issa was all over the place when in actuality he's the one that's all over the place. So Issa asks him what's wrong, and he's saying that he was manic when he lived with them. He didn't know it at the time, and then he still hasn't told his cousin about that. And the reason why he hit up his cousin again is because he wanted to show him that he finally had his life together. Does he? Nathan says fuck it though, he can't change how people sees him. And then he inserts Issa in this conversation saying, well, I can't change how you see me either. I'm guessing he's referring to him being friend zoned by her. And as Nathan gives Issa these light-skinned puppy dog eyes, she reassures him that the reason why she was crying wasn't about him, and the crying really took her off guard. She said that the past year was just a lot for her, and now she just feels like she's always waiting for the other shoe to drop. So my theory that something happened in the past year was wrong. I guess I shouldn't try to go so deep for Insecure. And I'm guessing the real reason she was crying because she just wasn't over Lawrence at the time. But I will say about the shoe dropping on the other foot comment, as a millennial, I always feel that way. I mean, I just started YouTube full-time in September, so I gotta always be on it. But I'm a pessimistic optimist. I expect the worst, but I hope for the best. But enough about me. Yep, she says she's scared to get her hopes up. We see each other. So then she finally tells Nathan that she was afraid to admit it, but she doesn't want to just be friends with him. She wants to be more. Oh Lord, I hate how Kendrick acts. I really do. I don't want to be friends with you either. Is that how straight dudes talk? So after that, they embrace and they finally kiss with no tears. So as they're kissing, there's like a little minor earthquake, and then they stop for a sec. He tells her, "Did you feel that?" She's like, "Yeah." Double entendre. We love it. So after they hear some woman yelling earthquake, they continue to embrace. The camera goes up to look over the city, and that is where the episode ends. This was a cute episode. I really just don't like Issa for Nathan. I would give this episode was okay. Wasn't the best. I would have loved to know what happened with Kelly's situation. I wanted to know how the party was going. I mean, how Molly and the tall fine friend was doing. And did they rob us of a sex scene between them two? Because I want to see it. I would like to see it. It just seemed like Insecure is good for giving us a 30-minute episode with 10 minutes of story. I guess I just don't feel satisfied. I feel like I'm going to a nice restaurant and then my dinner is like a small portion. Then I'm left still hungry. So I'm looking at the preview for the next episode. We see it's a lot of Nathan and Issa, and then we see something tragic may have happened to Molly. Can't wait for that. And yeah, I mean, Sunday is right around the corner. It's Thursday now. Y'all probably get this video Friday morning. Again, I apologize, y'all. Please let me know y'all thoughts on this video. Are y'all team Nathan or team Lawrence? Or team nobody for Issa? Anywho, I will see y'all soon. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. See you later. Bye.